The story throws us right into the back of a moving car, but something is immediately off. We meet our main character, Jin-suk, and he's not okay. His face is pale and slick with sweat, his breathing is heavy, and his eyes dart around nervously. He's looking out the window, but his mother, sitting beside him, turns with a look of pure, motherly worry etched on her face as she reaches out to touch his chin. In the front is a totally different world. His father is laughing, relaxed at the wheel, and his older brother, Yusok, the family's golden child, turns around with an effortless, charismatic smile. The contrast is jarring. The happy, perfect family up front, and the nervous, broken young man in the back. The car winds along a serene road as they finally pull up to their new life, a massive, imposing brick house. As Jin-suk stares up at it, still looking lost, Yusok comes to his side and wraps a comforting arm around his shoulders. For a moment, it looks like a perfect family moving into their perfect new home. We quickly learn that his brother, Yoon-sok, is the family's golden child. He's a genius who graduated from a top university, a star athlete, and a handyman who can fix anything. To Jin-sok, who suffers from nervous breakdowns from the stress of studying, his brother is nothing short of a perfect hero. Even after a car accident a year ago left him with a limp in his left leg. While moving in, Jin-sok is disappointed to find out he has to share a room with his brother. It turns out one of the small rooms upstairs is off limits. The previous owner left his belongings there and begged their dad not to let anyone go inside. Their dad, being the soft-hearted man he is, agreed to keep the room locked for a month until the owner returns. Later that night, as the family celebrates their new home with dinner, a strange noise suddenly comes from upstairs, right above the forbidden room. It sounds like something heavy just dropped. His parents quickly brush it off as thunder, but Jin-sok looks worried. There's something unsettling about that room, and his dad's warning echoes in his mind. You guys absolutely cannot go into that room. The rain starts pouring down, and Jin-sok is still hearing strange sounds from the locked room. He grabs his brother, insisting something is wrong, but Yoon-sok just thinks he's trying to get out of studying. To calm him down, Yoon-sok suggests a walk in the rain. As they stand on a nearby hill under an umbrella, Yoon-sok gets a call from his dad who needs a document from his room. He tells Jin-sok to wait and that he'll be back in 10 minutes. But as Jin-sok waits alone, a black van pulls up out of nowhere. A group of mysterious men jump out, grab Yoon-sok, and violently shove him into the van before speeding off. Jin-sok is in complete shock. He sprints after the van, frantically memorizing the license plate number, 07JO8911. He screams his brother's name, but they're gone. The trauma is too much, and he faints right there on the street. He wakes up at home, surrounded by his panicked parents. The police are there, but this is where the story takes its first dark turn. When Jin-sok gives them the license plate number, the detectives tell him something chilling. That license plate doesn't exist. They checked every vehicle in the country. There is no black van with that number. The police suggest that because of the dark, rainy night and Jin-sok's anxiety medication, he probably just saw it wrong. Jin-sok insists he knows what he saw, but they dismiss him. From there, the family is plunged into a torturous waiting game. Days turn into weeks, and there's no word from the kidnappers. Every night, Jin-sok is haunted by nightmares of a mysterious man who seems to be in agonizing pain. Then, on the 19th day after the abduction, Yoon-sok miraculously returns home. He just walks back in as if nothing happened. But he's not the same. He has complete amnesia and has no memory of the past 19 days. The doctors say it's a mental block caused by extreme trauma, and all the family can do is wait for his memory to return. Jin-sok is relieved to have his brother back, but things get even stranger. One night, He hears Yoon-sok sneak out of the house. The next morning, when Jin-sok confronts him, Yoon-sok denies everything and says Jin-sok must have been dreaming. But then, Jin-sok notices something that sends a shiver down his spine. Yoon-sok, who has always limped with his left leg, is now limping with his right leg. When Jin-sok points it out, Yoon-sok gets defensive and tells him to stop joking around before quickly leaving. At this point, Jin-sok knows for sure that something is seriously wrong. That night, Jin-sok pretends to be asleep. He hears Yoon-sok sneak out again and decides to follow him. He follows his brother to a shady-looking back alley where Yoon-sok meets with the same mysterious men from his nightmares. They seem to know each other, and Jin-sok watches in horror as they chase and brutally attack another man. He tries to escape, but the men spot him and chase him down. After a terrifying chase, Jin-sok somehow wakes up back in his own bed. He confronts the man who looks like his brother, screaming about what he saw. But Yoon-sok calmly tells him it was all just another dream, a side effect of not taking his medication. Jin-sok is starting to think he's losing his mind. But then, Yoon-sok makes a fatal mistake. While explaining how it was all a dream, he says, "From the pencil to the taxi you took, and those men that chased you, none of that actually happened." Jin-sok freezes. He never told anyone he took a taxi while following his brother. In that moment, the terrifying truth hits him. This man is not his brother. The entire family confronts him. They're not his family at all. They are actors. Jin-sok finally escapes the house and runs to the nearest police station. He frantically tells the officers his story. But when they run his ID, they deliver the final, mind-shattering blow. It's not 1997. It's 2017. He's not 21. He's 41. Suddenly, the fake family and a mysterious man in a suit walk into the station. The man reveals the truth. This whole elaborate setup, the house, the fake family, the staged kidnapping, was an extreme form of hypnotherapy. They reconstructed the events of 1997 to force Jin-sok to remember a traumatic event he blocked out 20 years ago, a brutal murder he committed. Jin-sok still can't remember. Furious that the plan failed, the man drives him away. But on the road, they get into a real car accident, and the shock finally unlocks his true memories. We flash that to the real 1997. Jin-sok's family was struggling financially during the IMF crisis. His brother needed life-saving surgery they couldn't afford. Desperate for money, Jin-sok finds an online post from someone called Bluebeard offering a huge sum of cash for a job, to kill a woman for her husband who wanted to collect the insurance money. A young Jin-sok, terrified but desperate, breaks into the house. But the plan goes horribly wrong. The woman's young daughter walks in and sees him. In a panic, he ends up murdering both the mother and the daughter. The only person he spares is the family's little boy, telling him to hide under a blanket and count to 110 10 times. Back in the present, the man in the suit reveals his true identity. He's that little boy, Song-yuk, who has spent the last 20 years planning his revenge. The doctor who played Jin-sok's father in the setup was the real killer, his own father, who hired Jin-sok for the hit. Song-yuk reveals that after Jin-sok's murder, his own father went insane from guilt, killed himself, and confessed everything in a note, which is how Song-yuk learned the full story. Then, he confronts a now broken Jin-sok, demanding to know if his father put him up to it. Jin-sok, overwhelmed with guilt, protects the father and falsely confesses, "I did it alone." Utterly broken by his revived memories and the weight of his actions, Jin-sok injects himself with a lethal dose of poison he stole from the fake father, ending his own life. The movie ends with a final, heartbreaking flashback. A young Song-yuk and his real family are happy and playing in a park. Suddenly, a kind young man walks up and plays with him, making him laugh. As the man leaves, we see that it was Jin-sok, a few months before he would go on to destroy their family forever.